Woo! What's up, guys? Dave Van Auken here, Felicia Spencer. What an incredible looking shirt, Fee. Looking good.
Well, I lost a bet, so I had to. What can I say?
Dude, Lauren Murphy, and sometimes, Fee, I'm not that guy to be like, man, I was maybe right and rub it in and it felt good, but God dang it, that felt good. I hit that one.
Well, yeah, I'm happy for it. I totally could see that coming. It wasn't a surprise,
Right.
But yeah, definitely. It is what it is. I'm making it sucks to lose, though. It sucks to lose on my picks. Not to you so much, more so just for my own record. I'm just competitive with myself.
I hear that. 2 weeks ago, nailed Brian Barberina as an underdog. Then last week, nailed Lauren Murphy. I absolutely love my underdog pick. I think you know who it is. It's very close to our family, Orlando family, our personal family, my wife's friend. We'll get into that later. Huge card, UFC London. Just incredible. It feels like a pay-per-view week. I don't know why. Patty's talking trash. The main event is awesome. Aspinall and Blaydes, in a weird way, is being overlooked right now. It's a really high-end heavyweight matchup. You don't get those a lot for free during the day. It's a great week. It's a really good week. But before to jump in UFC London, Fee, the last 36 hours have been absolute crazy. Chimaev and Diaz, O'Malley and Yan, Sterling and Dillashaw, Oliveira and Makhachev, a lot of stuff is happening. What was one of the fight announcements over the last 3-4 days that really jumped at you? It was like, wow, they did it.
Yeah, I mean, I have been not as attentive to my phone in the last few days, but I did see the one that surprised me with the Chimaev Diaz fight. Yep. That's a real thing, right?
Yeah, that's a main event of a pay-per-view.
No kidding. I did not know that. So give me the news, right? My life has been kind of crazy and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down at all. So it's like, I love doing this just because it makes me keep up, Yeah, interesting.
So, but is that the one? That's the one you're like,
that's
wow,
yeah.
I can't wait. I have to see it.
Is he the biggest underdog of the year, maybe, or?
Yeah, it's the last time. So the line broke, and Chimaev was a minus 1,100. Nick Diaz was plus 700 off the bat, and the money's already flowing on Chimaev. So probably by the time it goes off, he's going to be like in the Kayla Harrison arena of minus 2,000. Probably it's going to be wild.
Yeah.
I dropped a podcast on it. I can't believe that it's a main event for not a title. Literally the last 5 years, it's only been McGregor or Masvidal that can handle it. And most of the time, Diaz was involved with those. But Diaz and Chimaev gets pushed into a main event of a pay-per-view. It's all right. The dog wants to bark for Chimaev, Maybe they're on Nate Diaz, the underdog.
I'm going to let him come in real quick. Here, let me move my whole thing.
Dude,
come on. I know you just want to come in. Come on. I blocked him out of the room just for you guys. Come on, Flex. Well, the other one can't make it in. Oh. I don't think. So they won't be fighting under the table today.
There you go.
Sorry.
No worries. Let's get into it. So UFC London, really good show. Let's start with the lock. I hope, like I said, hopefully we can talk about the underdog together and be on the same page and have good chemistry. But let's go with your lock. A lot of good fights on this card. It's very deep. A lot of young talent versus maybe talent on the way out. Where is your UFC London lock? All
right. So, you talked to me last week about potentially doing 2 locks because I missed one of my locks was a canceled fight, so to make our numbers even. And I'm going to completely blow your mind, I think, on my picks because I have 3 picks today, 2 locks, and an underdog, and they're all underdogs. So yeah, I know. So I had to pick what my locks were going to be. So your underdog is my lock. I'm picking Hannah Goldy as my lock against Molly McCann. So I'm a better friend than you. All right. First off.
There we go. There you go, Hannah. We'll get into the details of that, but let's keep it rolling. We'll go back into the details.
Yeah. And the details of how I'm a better friend than you. My other lock is going to be Paul Craig versus Volkan Ozdemir. I know it's a dangerous lock, but I don't know. I always pick Paul Craig, and he always not always, but he's a special fighter. He's a good fighter, good grappler. I'm excited to see him take the win.
Those
are my 2 locks. I'm going to go Paul Craig and Hannah Goldy.
We're definitely chopping this up and making this into a video
today.
Let's go with your phenomenal pick, and then we'll go back into Goldy and Greg. What's your phenomenal pick? Your underdog pick. You already have 2 underdogs, but what's another underdog that you have and you like Are we looking Jordan Leavitt here? Is that what we're doing? Let's see. Fee, what's your
That's exactly what we're looking at. And I almost picked another lock too. I was kind of playing like, mix them up with the locks and the underdogs because I honestly love all of them in that spot. So, so Jordan Leavitt is my underdog. So okay. I have a good feeling. Even if they didn't all win, if you put like the same amount of money on each person, I think you come out on top for sure by a lot. So I would say at least 2 out of 3 is a sure thing.
Yeah, I like that too. So real quick on betting terms with my bookie, Jordan Leavitt's around a plus 200, 220. Hannah Goldy's right now plus 320, going into 340 range. Paul Gregg, I believe the last time I saw was plus 115, 130 in that range, a slight underdog. Yeah. Let's kind of start with Leavitt as the phenomenal pick. I agree with you. I'm on Jordan Leavitt's side. I got bashed last night. We had our betting show and we went live, and both analysts were all on Patty Pimblett. Just says he's just a better fighter all around, stand up on the ground everywhere. I like Jordan Leavitt. I just like the chip he has on his shoulder right now. I like his mojo. I think he can submit Patty on the ground. I have not been impressed yet with Patty. I'm hoping to, if Patty wins, to be impressed. I don't want him to win unimpressively, if that makes sense. I just don't want him to kind of get by again. If he wins, I want to be like, okay, that was awesome. Like, he showed me something. But I like Leavitt here too. I'm on the underdog side as well.
Yeah, and I have, everything Patty does is he's impressive in general. But yeah, his fighting, like actual minutes in the cage, haven't been like exceptional compared to, and everyone that's fighting there is on that level. He doesn't seem like he's levels above like some of the others. And even though Leavitt had a loss in the UFC, I think I don't think it was a fluke, but I think it was a really good learning moment for him. And I think, like you said, that chip on his shoulder will help him. And I think he's phenomenal grappler. And again, I'm good friends with someone who used to be a close training partner or a coach of his, and just has all the best things to say about Jordan Leavitt. So I'm never gonna count him out.
I'm looking up Leavitt right now. So, he's 10-1. What's his loss? His loss was in the UFC to Claudio Puels. And, he's won 2 straight. He's literally –
was it a split decision or was it
unanimous?
Unanimous decision, yeah. So –
okay.
I don't know. Yeah, I got a good feeling about him. And, it's a really good matchup, because it will give Patty that really high-level person, and obviously the same for Jordan will give him a big name. So, either way, whoever the winner is going to have a big jump up.
I concur. I totally agree. All right, let's slide to Paul Craig. We're going to leave our girl Hannah Goldy at the end. Yeah, I like Paul Craig a lot. I'm trying to look. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's won 5 straight wins. And one of the wins, you ready for this one, guys? People don't remember it or don't want to put this up here, is to Jamal Hill. Jamal Hill is in the main event 2 weeks from now, and a really big spot, and kind of is being groomed or a dark horse to be a future championship shot. Paul Craig defeated him, and he's got 5 straight wins in the division. It's like one of these, he's like a Bilal Muhammad right now. He's kind of just being he's not flashy, and he's not young and trendy. He's not on TikTok, and he's just a cool, down-to-earth fighter, and the guy just keeps on winning fights.
He's been around for so long, he's a familiar name, but yeah, I've said it before, this household has always been really high on Paul Craig. His submission skills are he always has a lot of crazy submissions and just come from behind victories and stuff like that. So even if he's losing the first 2 rounds, you can never count him out because he's won in the 3rd round after losing the first 2, So slick on the ground especially.
Wow, we are in huge agreements. I like Craig. I like Leavitt. All right, let's get into it. Hannah Goldy, our dear friend, Orlando, Florida. I was just at her son's birthday party a couple weeks ago before she was going over. And I know you've been kind of training with her, and I'm, friends with Paige, who's been training with her a lot. I've just been hearing great reviews, just like how Hannah's just on another level, mentally, physically, just really moving at all cylinders. Also, too, here's another little nugget for people who don't know. She mostly fought strawweight her whole career, in that 105, right? 115, I'm sorry. This is flyweight. This is, I think, our 2nd UFC fight in a row as a flyweight. I think the flyweight's great for her. She doesn't have to work about the whole week. It's not about the weight cut. I know she has to lose a couple pounds, but she's not dying to cut weight to make that 115. Also, I think she is so underratedly on the ground. I think her jits game, everyone thinks of Hannah and thinks of kickboxing. If just with maybe the casuals, she's so good on the ground. Fusion XL, Julian Williams, Phil Rowe, a lot of great groundwork is being done there. I love Hannah Goldy via submission. My bookie right now, the prop is plus 800 on a submission win. I like it. I think she's going to submit Molly McCann second, third round. I love this fight for Hannah. Love it.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah, I would see a submission victory. I mean, there's a chance that it would be like she just controls on the ground and, wins. Obviously, I would say the path to victory for her is her strength is on the ground from what I see. I know a lot of people see her strength as, like you said, kickboxing, but I see the strength as grappling, and I see Molly's weakness as grappling. And we've seen this story a million times in this sport. That's usually a recipe for the grappler to win, So, because we've seen Molly in a lot of bad positions on the ground and not really be able to get out against, I think, lesser grapplers than Hannah. And Hannah's very strong. She's going to be, and Molly's known for being very strong. Hannah is right there, And like you said, she brought me in to train, once or twice a week for the last, 6 weeks or so, and I've, been able to grapple with her, and she's super strong. Transitions are amazing. Confidence is there. So everything is there for her. Definitely a big moment for her. I think London is going to be upset on Saturday.
I know. It's so funny because
I love that the UFC isn't just giving them easy fights, though. It's definitely they're bringing talent over, and it's going to be a fight. You know what I mean? The people who live there are going to have to really work for their wins. Same thing in the main event, which we haven't even talked about.
Yeah.
Curtis Blaydes is no joke. Like I can't. I said I would never bet against Tom Aspinall again, but I always bet on Curtis Blaydes. Like I always lean him, but I can't because I just can't. Yeah.
I was just going to transition to that. I'm so happy you said it. You kind of took the words right out of my mouth. So they were just there in March, and usually they go to London once a year, but it went so well. The crowd was amazing. People still think to this day was the card of the year. There's been a couple great pay-per-views, but still that London show during the day in March, people are still talking about as the card of the year. And a big reason, and it's not even the performances or the wins, but just what Patty did and Molly did, and afterwards, and the celebrations, and even Aspinall and the drinking and all that kind of like, it was just it was like a concert feel. It was just this great environment. And this time, I think the UFC would be almost frowned upon if they gave them three, bogus fighters, and they just were Pat and Patty and Molly and Aspinall. And I agree with you. I know Molly's a favorite and a sizable one, and I know the same as Patty, but I think they gave them Jordan Leavitt, Hannah Goldy, and Curtis Blaydes are legitimate. They've been in the UFC. Hannah's fought 4 times in the UFC. Leavitt's 4-1 in the UFC. Curtis is one of the most underrated fighters under the banner. The guy has fought everyone in the heavyweight, has beat almost everyone. He's lost to Francis Ngannou twice. Everyone loses to Francis Ngannou, and then he was beating Derek Lewis 2 rounds. And Derek Lewis with an uppercut out of hell literally knocked him out. So it's just like this. That's a great matchup. I just love it. It's one of those ones people keep on asking me, you ready for this one? And people, this is not the cool thing to do. I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I have to see the fight to really know and feel it. And even like these guys are so good. Even if Aspinall dominates the first round or Curtis dominates the first round, I think the other fighter is so good to reverse it rounds 3, 4, and 5. So it's like, I got to see the verdict. I don't know. I really don't have a good feel. I think I would lean Curtis Blaydes. Like you, maybe I think I would lean that way, but I really don't know.
Yeah, and I always would lean that way because I just know in that division, grapplers are more unique and a little bit less common, so they usually are successful. But Tom is a really good grappler, so he's got submission wins. So it's kind of tough because now you have like a wrestler versus a submission grappler. Yeah. So I'm excited to see what happens on the ground. I hope that they end up on the ground. We'll see.
I was gonna say usually sometimes this. A grappler versus a wrestler, this might be a 25-minute kickboxing match because maybe the wrestler doesn't want to try to take him down to get down in the jits game, and maybe Aspinall doesn't want to get taken down. So that's it. I'm just intrigued. Like it's just one of these matchups. I'm not gonna. Hey, my bookie, I'm sorry, I'm not gonna make a bet on it. You know what I mean? I'm putting all my money on Hannah Goldy. I'm putting my money on Jordan Leavitt. Also, I really like Jack Hermansson in the co-main event. I think he's being super overlooked. I love the action, man. Chris Curtis, great story. Talked to him a couple times, actually. Really good dude, good guy. I like him. I just think Jack Hermansson's been around the game for a long time. Been in main events. Just fought Strickland 25 minutes 6 months ago. I like Hermansson in that spot too. I can't wait. I can't wait. Saturday during the day, Fee. I'm excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, crazy good card. It's crazy that it's not a pay-per-view because it feels like one, like you said.
It does. It does. It really does. And then next weekend is a pay-per-view. And like I said, we talked about it last week at TAD, a main event you might know a little bit about. Amanda Nunes, Juliana Pena. Wow. It's exciting times. The summer's flying by with fights. It's just flying by.
It's with everything.
So no bet this week. You are wearing a phenomenal shirt. Yeah, it's a good shirt. Thank you, Lauren Murphy, getting the job done. We are in total agreement this week. We're on team Jordan Leavitt, Hannah Goldy, and Paul Craig. We agree, and let's win some money. Let's get our numbers back up. Let's do it.
Yeah, sounds good. Let's do it. Can we talk to you next week?
Sounds good. Talk to you next week. Later.